All right, so do we want to get started?
Yeah. Yeah, let's get started.
I'm going to mute myself.
Okay.
Well, thanks. I see several people joining, which is awesome. So hi,
Yep.
Connie and Allison. I haven't had a chance yet to meet you, but good to see you there. Everybody is on mute, just so that you know. So there is a chat feature down at the bottom. You can chime in throughout with any questions or thoughts, and we'll have a few ways that will prompt you that way also. But hello, it's so good to be with you. We're really excited to kick off what we're calling the creative pause, a time each day where you can just breathe a little bit, take in some inspiration, and find some grounding. I'm Stacey, and I'm a jeweler, so I own Stacey Faye Designs Jewelry, and my jewelry, I like to say, doesn't shy away from the hard issues. So you will find things I offer like mourning rings if you've lost somebody, or even divorce rings if you might be going through a divorce. And I also offer vintage and antique jewelry. So I love any kind of jewelry that tells a story. And I believe all stories deserve to be told. And my collaborator on this project is Susan Padron. So Susan, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Susan Padron. I am an intuitive personal stylist, and I work with women to help them heal through personal style. We do a lot together, working through limiting beliefs and challenging times within their lives, so that they can start showing up as their best self. So, doing this kind of work with continuing to help people, just like Stacey was saying, is very much in alignment for my purpose with my business and with my life as well. Um, so Stacey can go ahead and share, why we're doing this, how we got started.
Yeah, so this project got started sort of fast and furious. Susan and I have been working on this for the past week or so. And this idea kind of came to me, I don't want to say in a dream because it didn't come in a dream literally, but I, the first week of social isolation, I just sat with the grief of it, and I just sat with the space of it. And I watched a lot of different people offering some beautiful things out there to the community and ways they were giving back. But I didn't feel quite ready yet. And then the second week, or late last week into this week of this time, I personally felt like I had to start transforming my grief into something positive and to offer something out there that could not only help others, but it could also help me be able to connect in each day with real live human beings, on video, and just bring to the community all those things that I love to see and that's helpful for me, and I think helpful for all of us, which is art and beauty, and ways to just talk about the hopeful things that we still have here with us, despite the gravity of what's going on out there. So I reached out to Susan. Susan and I worked together before, but we really only worked together a little bit. And so it was interesting. She sort of just came to mind, though, as the person. I'm like, Susan, like I felt like she would really get it. And she, of course, did. Because we both have that spiritual sensibility about how we go about fashion and style and beauty. And so, yeah, we've been working on it for the past week. And our real goal, as I said, is to bring some respite into your day. And sometimes these videos will be 20 minutes, sometimes a half an hour. We'll have voices from across the community. And as long as we can bring a smile to your face each day, I think that means we've done what we set out to do. So Susan, what would you add?
Yeah, everything, everything that you're saying, Stacey, absolutely. Yeah, I think that once we really started working on this project, it helped me feel more like I had a purpose during these times, and gave me more direction. And I knew that if I was feeling that way immediately from like starting to work on this, that what we were doing could really have a greater impact and in our community and with the people in our lives and beyond. So we are just, I think I can speak on Stacey's behalf by saying we're just thrilled that it's been received so well so far. And, we're just happy that you're here and happy that we can create this little like moment in your day to bring some joy or some creativity or anything that you can just experience for a little while that yeah can just make you smile. So, the overall like theme and general idea of this is, like in a time of solitude and fear, we are cultivating joy, love, and connection. I feel that really summarizes just our main purpose, our mission within this whole video series. So the next thing that we really want to do is a question that I'm sure a lot of you might be avoiding or struggling with answering. And you're being asked it constantly, I'm sure. And it's a question of, how are you?
How are you doing? Yeah, in this time of
Yeah.
chaos.
Like, how are you? And what we want you to do now is, if you feel comfortable responding, go ahead and utilize the chat. Type it into the chat. We're going to be sharing as well, but we wanted to get that ball rolling. If you're not super familiar with Zoom, the chat is at the bottom of your screen. If you just kind of hover your mouse, it'll pop up. Or if it's not readily visible, you'll need to tap on the 3 dots where it says more, and then the chat will become available. And just make sure that you're typing it to everyone so that we can all see it. But yeah, Stacey, how are you doing? Let's start with you, and I will gladly share and dive in.
Sure, I'm happy to start. And I would say also, for anyone who's listening to this recording after the fact, feel free to say out loud how you're doing. Scream it out loud if you want, or write it down, or whatever's going to make you feel like you are having someone hear you with how you're doing. So Susan and I talked about answering this question, answering it honestly, and my honest answer would be, it depends when you ask me. Some moments I feel like this beautiful opening, and I'm grateful for the slowdown that this has offered, and I'm grateful for the time with my son, and the time to cook and things like that. And then many days I feel very overwhelmed, and I'm managing a 2-year-old toddler. I'm 8 months pregnant. I'm very fearful about what my hospital experience might look like with this this birthing experience. And so I have a lot of those anxieties, a lot of those emotions. And I think, like all of us, it's literally a roller coaster. I mean, and I know that roller coaster well, because I've done enough meditation and I've studied Buddhism, but sometimes even, those of us who have the tools in our toolbox go through that roller coaster, and we're riding it hard. And so I would say, that's how I'm doing. I'm riding that roller coaster. And I would say working on this project has given me a true sense of joy and purpose in the past week and change, and I'm grateful for that. And Susan, I know, when Susan and I talked earlier, we talked a lot about this idea of many of our businesses deemed non-essential right now, and what that means for us. So Susan, I don't know if you want to touch on that a little bit. I thought it was really beautiful what you said earlier.
Yeah. I mean, I completely understand and respect all of the businesses that are currently being labeled essential. Logically, my brain understands it and is like, of course, doctors, an essential business. I completely understand that. But hearing and internalizing the concept that my business is non-essential was really weighing on me emotionally, way more than I think I expected it to. And it created all of these blocks for me in terms of how to move forward with my business, or what to do with my business during these times. Because if my business isn't essential, then should I be marketing myself? Should I be talking about my business at all? Is what I actually do not important? It was just creating this really challenging spiral of emotions, just from a label that wasn't even targeted at me or what I do, but it's just something that I think a lot of us might be feeling and not necessarily understand that might be where it's coming from. Mm-hmm. And I just wanted to share some of the responses to how people are doing in the chat. And Kylene said, better this week than last. And oh my gosh, I hear you on that one. I feel like every day is a little bit better in some ways. Like I feel like I'm coming to terms with things better or handling things better. But, you know, like Stacey shared, sometimes there are just moments or days where I feel like I've hit a wall and I'm like, no, I can't do this. Like, no, what, and just dealing with all of that uncertainty and stress and change can be really, really hard because I mean, I went from being, you know, a lot of us, almost all of us on here, being a working mom, like running my own business while also being a mom, to being a stay-at-home mom. And up until like actually this afternoon, Tony was still working, so it's just me with Honey Bunny, and that was a big adjustment too in terms of struggling with that loss, like temporary loss of identity, you know, in terms of having like multiple identities or multiple roles to now only having one. And that was a big challenge for me as well. Yeah, Allison shares, you know, a roller coaster here as well. I feel like that's a big theme for how we're all dealing with this, and you know, working on finding the new normal, which is something that I can absolutely resonate with. You know, being present for her clients, you know, it's harder to be present for her children. And that's really an interesting kind of perspective too, that I think, you know, it's just that caretaker role that we've all had to really like dive into even deeper. That can be a big challenge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks like Melissa is saying a similar thing about, you know, finding the balance between the sort of 9 to 5 and then parenting. I'm sure you all have seen a really, you know, it's sort of circulating virally, I think, a visual out there, or an image out there that says, you know, it isn't meant to sort of be this way. Like you're either a working mom or you're a stay-at-home mom, or you know, are sort of part-time working, part-time home. And we're all being asked, whether we're a mother or not, I think we're being asked to do certain things and step up to the plate in certain ways that maybe we never have before. Or maybe haven't in a long time. And there's some difficulty sometimes in that, and some grief and identity shifts.
Yeah, and we encourage all of you who are watching live, as well as those of you that are catching the recording of this, to take the time to journal about how you're feeling, even if it's just like a couple words, you know, every day or every couple days, because what I find is really important during these times too is to acknowledge the growth that is occurring, no matter how small or subtle it is. And I think that's really the time where you definitely need to acknowledge and give yourself the credit that you deserve for those subtle changes.
Yeah. Well, thank you everybody for chiming in there. And we will take time on each call to ask how you're doing. It may not be this lengthy. It may be, you know, it depends on, you know, who wants to contribute their thoughts, and also just how we're all doing. So we felt like in order to be genuine here, we really wanted to ask that question and give you all the opportunity to share. So thanks for that. So the next thing before we jump into Ilia in just a few minutes is we are also on each of these videos going to be sharing some sort of very short reading. It could be a song lyric that we'll share, or just a quote or a poem, something just to kind of set the tone for the space. So today we have a very short quote, which is a beautiful one. I think captures it. So Robert Frost has a very long poem, but one of the most beautiful parts of it says, "The best way out is always through." So I think all of us only have the opportunity here to kind of move through this space as best we can day by day. And that's what we're doing. Stacey, do you want to introduce Ilia?
I would love to. Right, I'm unmuted. Okay, yeah. It's like otherwise you're just seeing a lot of facial expression and like nothing else, which I guess isn't a bad thing. But yes, I'm thrilled that Miss Ilia Stranko is here with us today to be our first guest on the Creative Pause. Ilia is a wonderful friend of mine, and she is a fantastic just energy worker, healer, does past life regression therapies, work with chakras, and she is the owner and founder of Spiritually Curious, which is a phenomenal course that is available online right now. Ilia? Okay. And
I muted myself, sorry.
yeah, it's a fantastic course that I've personally completed and just got so much knowledge and growth from it that I just can't say enough great things about her or about what she does. And today she's going to help us deal with the crazy amount of energy shifts and how we can handle just taking care of ourselves energetically and our energetic bodies and from more of a spiritual perspective. So thanks, Ilia, for being here.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited. I'm honored to be like the first guest. That's very exciting. So thank you for that. And and Susan, do you guys want me just to get started? Yeah, okay, perfect. All right. So something that I've been hearing a lot of people talking about and that I've been sharing a lot about is how to ground. And I thought today, instead of actually telling you what it's like to ground and how and giving you the step by step, that we could actually go through that together in a short way, because it doesn't have to take a long time. And the reason why I was thinking about sharing that, and I'll be sharing a couple of other things as well, but I wanted to kind of ground our energy, number one, because so many of us are in our heads right now. Our energy is getting it's like, if you can imagine a hourglass, and when it comes to our chakras, they can be balanced, unbalanced, and we are very top heavy. Like our upper chakras are very top heavy, because we're absorbing all this information, because we're taking in, we're trying to make new plans, we're trying to figure out who we are in this world. For those of us that own businesses, what is that going to look like in the future? What does it look like now? Stacey, like you were saying, like, how quickly am I rebounding? Like how much time am I giving myself to kind of rest and absorb all of this information, as opposed to just like getting out there and doing all the things, right? Like you keep seeing all these memes about like writing 40 books and having the time to do everything you ever dreamed of. But really, this is a lot of information that we're all taking in. It's a huge adjustment. And I thought, because our energy is so top heavy, that it would be really nice for me to just kind of walk you through something very quick that you can do to bring your energy down. Because really right now, it is so very important that our energy is grounded. Right. And that doesn't mean like don't meditate and don't do those things. Like do those things if that's a part of your practice or one of your goals during this time to create that's beautiful. But something really simple that you can do is just learn how to ground, and that will naturally bring your energy down. And for people that are not familiar with energy, energy we have an energetic body, we have an energetic system. The same way that we have our circulatory system running through our body is the same way that we have an energetic body that's working with us. And the thing with it though is that it responds to our thoughts, and very much so the same way that our heart responds to our thoughts, right? If you start thinking about something that's stressful, your heart might start racing. The same thing is happening within your energetic body. Your thoughts manage that. So at the same time, when you want to ground, your intention behind it helps with that grounding energy, right? So something that we can all do together is, and if you want to, you can close your eyes, you don't have to, but if you just close your eyes, place your hands palms down on your legs if you're sitting. When your palms up, that's a way of receiving. When your palms down, that's what I think is one of the best ways to ground, right? So you place your hands down and you just take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, just begin to imagine a beam of light coming from the top of your head and moving down through your body. And take a deep breath in And exhale. And just allow the image of this, the idea of it, whether you see it, feel it, doesn't matter. There's no right way to do this. Just imagine that this beam of light is moving down your body and it's making its way to what we call your root chakra. And that's located at the base of your spine. And just imagine that this beam of light begins to move down and out of your body, exiting through that energetic center. And sometimes you can imagine this beam of light maybe as a beautiful cord, beautiful rope. I always like to imagine it with like a golden kind of sheen, but whatever comes into your imagination is perfect. And just allow that to begin to connect into Mother Earth below. And as you do that, allow all those thoughts that are streaming through your mind to begin to funnel down and into the earth. And take a moment to just breathe and allow all of that swirling to move down your body, not staying within you, it's moving straight through. And you can let that go into Mother Earth, let her absorb it for us, as she too is healing during this time. And continue breathing and just allow that cord or that beam of light, imagine it moving to the center of the earth. And maybe tying like a perfect little bow that keeps you perfectly grounded. And starting to feel back in your body. So often, so much of this experience has felt like we're going through the motions or we're in a movie and we're not in our body. So feel yourself in your body, tap your legs, feel your legs. Feel the weight of your body. And take a deep breath in. And exhale. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. And I hope that you can feel the shift. You can feel the difference in that short period of time of what just happened within your body. And you can take as long as you'd like doing an exercise like that. You don't have to leave that moment, right? Because it feels so good to feel that grounding. So you can stay there longer. I did it kind of abbreviated so that we could move through it a little bit faster. But you can really stay with that. And I encourage you to do that. And do it in the morning. If you can, do it when you wake up, like right after you brush your teeth. Anytime you're going to add something new, I always tell people to add that new thing in to something that you're already doing, that's already a ritual, that's already a part of your everyday. And if every day you wake up, you go to the bathroom, you brush your teeth, you wash your hands, and then add that, take a few deep breaths and imagine yourself grounding. And you can ground through your feet, you can ground while you're sitting. Other nice things to ground your energy that I'm doing throughout the day. And I do this pretty regularly, like when I was in my office. I'm always drinking warm water with honey. You can drink warm water with lemon, but but warm liquids will ground your energy. And when I drink them, I set intentions behind them. And I'm going to share a couple of the things that I set intentions behind for energy that are just day-to-day things that we're doing that will really easily help to manage your energy during this time. So, oh, Allison, I drink warm. I know it's weird. I know people always giggle at me about it, but you do too. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Once you get like through the part of like it's warm water. I have a tea kettle that I boil water in, and I just drink it like that. I don't know. Yeah.
I know. Yeah, my acupuncturist got me started on it. She wanted me to start drinking like warm water with lemon, and I'm like, nah, I wasn't like a lemon person, but she's like, no, you need to do this. It helps with like all of these things.
Yeah.
And now I love it. It's part of like it's part of my morning routine. Like I have my like mason jar of like like hot water with lemon and my coffee. But like I'll drink it throughout the day. Like I like the warmth of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're not weird. You're not alone.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's the warm water with lemon water is an Ayurvedic technique. And probably Chinese herbal medicine too with acupuncture, and it's just so good for your body. It's so good for your body, and the we're warm on the inside, so when you drink cold water, it's kind of like a little shock to your system. So that's why I like to drink warm water, and it allows that grounding sensation. And lemon water is perfect in the morning. It helps with digestion, all those things. And kind of kickstart your digestion. So that's one of the reasons why I add lemon to it in the morning, like you, Susan. And then throughout the day, I drink warm water. And again, the intention behind that. And even when I am boiling the water, I like do this funny little thing where I like just put my hands on both sides and I'm like, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Because I want to infuse it with like loving energy so that I'm drinking loving energy all day. And so that's kind of you're going to get all my little quirky things that I do energy wise today. So that's one of the things that I do. And I think it's really important to be intentional in what we're doing and what we're putting in our bodies right now, because we're really trying to stay healthy. So if you're drinking lots, why not try it warm and see how that feels? And that, again, will help with grounding. Coffee is grounding at like but there's a point where it kind of flips. And it's not as grounding, but coffee is grounding too. So setting those intentions when you're drinking those warm liquids, when you're eating your food, and, kind of thinking along the lines of like, this is helping me stay strong. This is helping me stay healthy, is nice to add to it. And so drinking warm water, that's a great way to ground. Really dark chocolate is another great way to ground. And doing that little exercise that we did is a great way to ground. And, I'm not going to say it too loud, but red wine is a great way to ground. Just saying. And I mean, the time to start that is different now, right? Like we can start earlier. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, it's much earlier. Right.
Right. Like, I mean, like happy hours, what? 3, 2? I don't know.
Noon?
What?
Noon?
Who knows? Like the rules don't apply. Everything's different now. Like, who knows?
Missy says 2 p.m. Okay, thanks, Missy.
Okay. All right, we'll go with that, Missy. We'll do the 2 p.m. I feel that. So red wine is also one of them. But then, something that I've always done and always taught, and I think it's a really important thing for us to do right now, especially because of everything that's going on, and we're washing our hands so much. Everybody should be. But it's a really nice time to engage with your energetic system and to discharge some of the energy that is building in your body, especially right now, right? All of a sudden, we're juggling a lot of things, you know, and for some people, it's really slowed down, and that then they're not juggling as much. But for some people, they're juggling way more than they ever thought that they would need to or could, and they're learning that they can, but it's a challenge. And so one of the things that I love to teach is that when you're washing your hands and setting an intention behind the washing of your hands is something that you can add. Again, and the intention is that the energy that is building in your body, that when you're washing your hands and you place your hands under the water, that the water then takes that energy from your energetic system and it goes down the drain. Right? So anything that's building up that's not serving you, that you don't need anymore, you can take the, you know, million times a day that we're all washing our hands right now and use that as a way to support your energetic body. And again, it's another opportunity to do a little check-in, take a deep breath, take a moment of pause during while you're washing your hands. Like, how am I doing? Okay, I'm all right. Let me take a deep breath, exhale, let all of this go down into the drain. I don't need it, right? And none of the energy that you need is going to go down. It's only going to be what you don't need, that excessive energy, those excessive thoughts that are kind of bringing us back up. It's another way to bring your energy back down and also to discharge, right? To get it out of you. So that's another really nice one. Another one that I love, love, love. I do this every morning. I take showers in the morning. Doesn't matter what time of the day you take your shower, but you can also do the same thing when you're in the shower. So imagining that the water that's washing over you is washing away any of the energy that you don't need, any negative energy, anything at all that's kind of making you feel bogged down. Because if you're feeling really sluggish and you're feeling like you kind of like are having a hard time moving forward, a lot of that gets wrapped up in your energetic system. So this is a way that you can literally wash it down the drain. Right? So you're going to set an intention that when you're washing your body, you are allowing that energy to move down and into the drain. And then the next layer of that I do is actually when I come out of the shower, when I'm wrapping myself with my towel, I am also imagining that I'm putting on a little bubble around me. So I'm wrapping myself in this little energetic bubble that is permeable, right? Like, so with energy, you don't want to totally cut yourself off, especially if you're very sensitive. Because you will feel that. You'll feel really weird. You'll feel kind of out of sorts. But you do want to protect your energy, right? There's a lot going on. Everybody's really nervous. We're scrolling, and you're going from like really positive, you know, moments in your feed to like everybody's sick, you know, and it's scary, right? So we're like in this roller coaster of information and all over the board. So with that, you know, we need to have a little bit of a protective bubble. And we always need this. It's always beneficial to get into the practice of this, of kind of wrapping the towel and imagining that this bubble just comes with it and it wraps it and it seals you in this beautiful, loving light energy that keeps your energy in and the people around you. And that can be people that you're talking to right in your house, or it can be like all these social media interactions. It can be a whole bunch of different things. So your energy is being impacted in all these different ways. So when it absorbs it, it'll just kind of like fling it off like a raincoat. Like it just like bounces it off instead of having it really sink in. So I feel like those are some really nice ways to kind of incorporate things that you are already doing. You already have, you're already doing. And I think grounding is so vital right now to our energetic system, our bodies. Every part of us needs to be grounded so that we're clear and we can make really clear decisions as they come up, right? Because we're making so many more decisions right now than we're usually asked to make, even though we're kind of in this collective pause, if you will, but we're still having to make a ton of decisions. So if you want to be really clear in those decisions and really comfortable in your body, grounding is going to really help you.
Thank you so much, Ilia. Thank you for all those amazing suggestions and tips. I know, like, the shower technique that you mentioned, I mean, you told me that from our sessions that we had together some time ago, and that has saved me so many times, like especially during this time period, and like when I really need it, like taking a bath and setting that intention too, like really get it all.
Yeah, and if anyone is taking a bath, that is another amazing time. You can take 2 fingers and like dip it in the water and set your intention and swirl it around so that the water becomes a way to absorb the energy that you're in, setting an intention that it goes down the drain, but also that you become full from as it's clearing, right? Like taking a bath is another amazing time if anyone's doing that. You can absolutely. Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Such a good time. Add some Epsom salt if you have it around.
Yeah, I do. I love the addition of Epsom salts too to the bath, like for that purpose. It's just, yeah. So, thank you. If anyone has any questions for Stacey, for myself, for Ilia, yeah. And Allison just read my mind. She's like, "Can I ask a question?" Yes, you can. Please do type it into the chat, or feel free to unmute yourself if you want. I mean, the creative pause, like we're trying to create connection. You know, utilize the video if you want. This is a judgment-free zone.
Yes, totally.
So whatever you would like.
I will ask a question.
Yay.
For some reason, my stop video is not working. This is Allison.
Okay.
So I checked out and checked back in. It's still not working. Anyway, my question is my lower back. I've been sitting a lot because I'm seeing clients on video, and my lower back just went out today. It's sort of between my, kind of that midpoint between my sacral and solar plexus chakra. And I'm wondering if there's anything that I could do to clear that energetically. I do have lower back problems, but it hasn't gone out in years and years and years. So I'm assuming it's energetic.
Yeah, and that's a really big hotspot for right now, for things to be kind of getting wonky. For you, I would work on your solar plexus. So a little bit higher. And since you're saying chakras, I'm just going to trust. I think that do you know where that is?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I would work on your solar plexus. And the reason for that is because I'm feeling like your energy is really bottom heavy, and the same way that we have that hourglass, but from sitting in that staying in that same position, like your hourglass, instead of it being like up here, is kind of like heavier on the bottom. So use your solar plexus. It's a gateway to open up so that you're fully connecting between both areas, between your higher chakras and your lower chakras. I would start there. And that way you're making sure that all of your energy is moving and being discharged and not getting stuck while you're sitting in one spot.
Sounds perfect. Thank you.
So you can do deep diaphragmatic breathing. That will help with that chakra, right? Those deep breaths that go into your ribs. That's a really quick way to work with that chakra.
So I'm trying to move the energy through and out of that chakra. Is that right?
You're trying to, so that chakra acts as like a gateway, right? So it connects our upper chakras with our lower chakras. So it feels tight for you. And right, like holding your breath, like it just feels tight.
Yeah.
And so what I want you to imagine is that gateway opening up, and those deep breaths are allowing that gateway to become both physically open, but also energetically open. And that way your higher chakras and your lower chakras can communicate fully,
Oh,
and it can go up and down really easy, because it's getting stuck here because it's
yeah.
tight.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Any other questions? And Ilia, I think it'd be really helpful. Like, I'm interested in chakras, but I don't know too much. So I don't know if you have any follow-up links or things that we could send out to folks, just to kind of, for people who may have no idea, like, where is my solar plexus? Or like, how do I do that?
I have a chakra cheat sheet that I can send to you all, and then you can send it out. And it has just like really basic descriptions about each chakra, where they're located. And it talks a little bit about our aura. And if anyone wants to, let me know, because I just did my chakras, auras, and energy field course online, and I'm happy to run it again. If anyone really wants to learn about it. And tomorrow I'm teaching smudging and pendulums, if anyone wants to learn about that, at 3:30.
Ilia's pendulums are the most beautiful things you've ever seen. Like, they are not just like, they're unlike anything I've ever come across. They are stunning. They just feel like so beautiful. And oh my God, I have one. I'm thinking about getting another one because
I have one for you. Yeah.
yes. Okay, so excited. But yes, so sorry, I just had to like also add to
I'm making them and selling them right now, so I'm happy to make someone one. Yeah.
So Ilia, we'll share this within the notes for this video, but if you just want to share now how people can find you, work with you, all of those good things.
Yeah, so you can find me at iliastranko.com. You can find me on Instagram at spiritually.curious. And you can also learn more about, I have my group coaching experience coming up. So if you wanted to learn more about that, that's spirituallycurious.com. And that we start on April 7th. And that was going to be in person, but now it is fully online. And so I'm really excited. You'll get like a video every week, you'll get a meditation every week, and then we come together for a Zoom call like this and we talk about the lessons. But that's on spirituallycurious.com. So if you want to check that out, you can do that.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you. This has been so lovely. Thank you.
Of course.
Yeah.
This has been so great, and I'm really thankful for you sharing your wisdom, and thankful for those who joined us. And if you have any other questions, you can certainly send them to either Susan or myself, or Ilia directly. We can sort of share them around. We're happy to do that. We did want to end each call with a quote. There's a poet, Mary Oliver, that many of you may know. She is a beautiful poet. Well, she passed away about a year ago or sometime in the past year. And she has a poem called The Summer Day, which the poem itself is amazing, but it ends with this line, which we think really captures a lot of what we're talking about, which is, "What will you do with your one wild and precious life?" So we just want to leave you all with that. I think this is a moment for us of whether you want to sit idle, and that's great, or if you want to move forward, no matter what. I think it's, what is this moment offering to us, and what do we do with the life that we're in right now? So thank you all so much. Thank you, Ilia. Thank you, Susan.
Thank you, Stacey. Thank you, Ilia.
And we'll be back next week. We're aiming to offer these at 5 p.m. each weekday. So we'll be back on Monday at 5 p.m. It's the same Zoom link. So this is an ongoing Zoom link. And if you forget the Zoom link, it's on my website, it's on Susan's, and we also will post it on social media. So you'll be able to see it there.
Yes, absolutely. And we are in the beginning stages of creating a website. So we will also have a website available as well. And we have a YouTube channel too. So if this is something that you really enjoyed and you want to share it with other people, then the easiest way to do that is to head over to our YouTube channel, which you can find us at The Creative Pause. If you just search that, it should come up on YouTube. We currently have 0 videos because this is our first one. But after a little bit of editing, this will be on our YouTube channel. So then you'll be able to share the YouTube link with anyone that you think would enjoy what we shared today. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
And thanks, everybody. Have a good Friday and weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Yes. Bye.